Kelly Ripa is recounting her early days co-hosting Live with Regis and Kelly, and how her nerves didn't dissipate until 8 years into the job. Ripa, 55, spoke to Variety to coincide with her 25 years hosting Live, which began in late 2000 when she filled in as a guest co-host alongside Regis Philbin, while the show tested personalities to take the place of Kathie Lee Gifford. Ripa was a soap opera actress on All My Children at the time, and, as she told Variety, not looking for another job. My contract at All My Children had a year and a half left, and I decided at that point that I would just stop working and raise my kids. I wasn't paying attention at all to the Kathie Lee of it all. I certainly wasn't looking for that job, she explained. I think part of the reason I was attractive in any way is because I was the one person not pushing to get an audition for that show, Ripa said. But after guest hosting the show once, Ripa noted, there was an audience response to me. I really never thought about it again, and then I got a call right away to come back and do it again, she explained. The rest was history. I think by December they were already negotiating my contract. It was very fast. I think I had hosted 3 times and then they signed me to a contract. But as Ripa told Variety, she felt more pressure once the role became official on February 5, 2001. When there's something at stake, a far greater pressure is on you when you are a co-host versus when you're just a fill-in person. I felt terrified, she said. She added that the fear lasted until, maybe the 8th year? It took me a while to not feel terrified. It really took a long time to get comfortable. After the late Philbin retired in 2011, Ripa became the head of the show, co-hosting with Good Morning America's Michael Strahan, American Idol's Ryan Seacrest, and now, her husband of 30 years Mark Consuelos. What surprised me about Mark is how comfortable and good at it he was immediately. Where it took me 8 years to become comfortable, it took him maybe 8 days. Ripa told Variety of her husband's lack of nerves serving as co-host. The People Puzzler crossword is here. How quickly can you solve it? Play now. Philbin, who began his run as host of Live with Regis and Kathie Lee alongside Gifford in 1988, died at age 88 on July 24, 2020. When Kelly first walked into the studio of Live with Regis and Kelly in late 2000, she wasn't chasing a career pivot. She wasn't plotting a talk show takeover. She wasn't even particularly interested. At the time, she was a full-time actress on All My Children, where she had built a loyal following. Her contract still had a year and a half left. Her focus was on her young family. I had already decided I was going to stop working and raise my kids, she later recalled. I wasn't paying attention to the Kathie Lee of it all. When Kathie Lee Gifford departed the show, producers began a highly publicized search for a new co-host to sit beside the legendary Regis Philbin. Big names circled. Agents pushed clients forward. Auditions were aggressively pursued. Kelly did none of that. I think part of what made me attractive, she later said with a laugh, is that I was the one person not trying to get the job. She was invited to guest host. Just once. That was the plan. Lightning in a bottle. The first morning she sat beside Regis, she didn't overthink it. She wasn't auditioning in her mind. She wasn't strategizing. She was simply reacting. And the audience reacted right back. There was something about the pairing, Regis' seasoned spontaneity, and Kelly's fresh unpredictability, that clicked instantly. The laughter felt genuine. The rhythm felt natural. I never thought about it again, she said. And then I got a call to come back. Then another. Then another. By December, contract negotiations were underway. She had hosted only 3 times. It was very fast, she remembered. Suddenly, it wasn't hypothetical anymore. On February 5, 2001, she officially became co-host. And that's when the fear began. When it became real. Being a fill-in is light. There's nothing to lose. But being named co-host? That's weight. When there's something at stake, the pressure is far greater, Kelly explained. I felt terrified. Not nervous. Terrified. Every live show carried the possibility of mistake. Dead air. Awkward interviews. Miscues. Headlines. Regis was a master of live television. He could improvise effortlessly, recover instantly, glide through chaos like it was choreography. Kelly felt like she was learning to swim in the deep end with the cameras already rolling. She replayed episodes in her head after taping, analyzed every stumble, questioned every joke. I really thought they were going to figure out I wasn't supposed to be there, she admitted. Imposter syndrome wrapped tightly around her early years, and it didn't loosen quickly. 8 years of fear. Perhaps the most surprising confession Kelly has made is this. It took 8 years for the terror to fade. Maybe the 8th year, she said when asked when she finally felt comfortable. It really took a long time. 8 years is practically a full television era. But comfort in live broadcasting isn't built overnight. It's forged in small recoveries, when a joke lands, when a guest opens up, when a mistake becomes a funny moment instead of a disaster. Gradually, she stopped bracing for failure. Gradually, she trusted her instincts. Gradually, the chair beside Regis began to feel like it belonged to her too. The Regis years. Working alongside Regis wasn't just professional training. It was an education in presence. Regis had started hosting live with Regis and Kathy Lee back in 1988. By the time Kelly joined, he was already an institution. He valued authenticity above all else. If something went wrong, acknowledge it. If something was funny, lean in. If you didn't know what to say that. Kelly absorbed it all. When Regis retired in 2011, the goodbye was emotional, not just for audiences but for Kelly personally. He was live television, she has said. There's no one like him. Regis passed away on July 24, 2020, at age 88. His influence on her career remains immeasurable, becoming the anchor. After Regis' retirement, Kelly stepped into a new phase. She was no longer the newcomer. She was the constant. The show continued evolving, first alongside Michael Strahan, then Ryan Seacrest, and now her husband, Mark Consuelos. Each transition brought a different dynamic. Michael's athletic background and big personality created a playful contrast. Ryan's broadcasting polish added sleek energy. And Mark brought home into the studio the husband effect. When Mark officially joined in 2023, viewers expected chemistry. What Kelly didn't expect was how naturally he would take to the job. What surprised me about Mark, she said, is how comfortable and good at it he was immediately. Where it took her 8 years to shed fear, it took him 8 days. 8 days. She laughs about it now, but there's admiration underneath. Mark didn't overthink. He didn't analyze every word after taping. He simply showed up as himself. Watching him, Kelly realized something powerful. Sometimes the only way to survive live television is to stop trying to survive it. You just live it. A quarter century later. Now, 25 years after that first official broadcast, Kelly's fear has transformed into fluency. She no longer feels the paralyzing dread before going on air. Instead, she feels anticipation. She has interviewed world leaders and movie stars. She has navigated on-air mishaps, wardrobe malfunctions, surprise guests, emotional tributes. She has grown up in front of viewers. And they have grown with her. Her children, once toddlers when she began, are now adults. The studio that once felt intimidating now feels like an extension of home. But she hasn't forgotten those early years. The shaking hands. The racing heart. The silent prayers before the cameras turned red. Those memories ground her. The unexpected path. Perhaps the most remarkable part of Kelly's story is that none of it was part of a master plan. She wasn't chasing daytime dominance. She wasn't maneuvering for hosting glory. She was an actress nearing the end of a contract, ready to slow down and focus on family. Opportunity knocked. She answered casually, and it changed everything. I never thought it would be this, she has said more than once. But maybe that's the magic. The best chapters are often the ones you didn't outline. Legacy and longevity. In an era where television careers shift rapidly and formats evolve overnight, Kelly's 25-year tenure is rare. It speaks to adaptability, to resilience, to the ability to grow publicly without losing authenticity. She has been the student, the co-pilot, the anchor, and now the equal half of a husband and wife duo steering the ship together. And while she once feared every episode, she now embraces each one. Not because it's easy, but because she's earned her comfort.